Hello everyone, EDL 854. Just want to make sure this is recording correctly and we'll get started here. Okay, case study 854. Section 1 was summarize the case. Carlos Santos is the Briardale Elementary School principal. Briardale School serves as the town community meeting center. The elementary is one of the 6 elementary schools in the school district. Majority of teachers stay in the district for their tenure, so it sounds like a pretty good school district. And school districts focus on basic skills and educational instruction based on student performance. Sorry there. Section 1, continue more information. Funding for supplementary curriculum subjects has led to confusion. There's competition between schools to raise the most money. The foundations have been formed by each school site by a parent representative. Not always the best idea to have a parent involved when it relates to money for school districts. And the funds raised by foundations are handed over to the site principals and placed into a category budget for supplementary curriculum programs. So that, in a nutshell, is basically what the case study was before things went a little south for Mr. Santos and his school. The issue, the problem with that fundraising is taking place between schools in competition for their supplemental courses. So again, you'll hear me say this a lot, but this competition between Mr. Morley and Mr. Barley, who were in competition in their college days, it was a big problem. This old fraternity style that Mr. Barley wanted was just a recipe for disaster. When all this went down, the fundraising for cash took place. The sheriff came in and was tipped off, and he arrested Mr. Barley for a misdemeanor for this event. Any legal or ethical issues? Well, the raffle for cash event was organized by someone who was not a member of the school district. Parents not hired by the school district to conduct such event. In Ohio, according to Ohio Revised Code 291.5, states that no one other than a charitable organization that has obtained a license can either conduct or advertise a raffle. So I assume that Mr. Barley did not have that license. As a result, he was handcuffed and put in jail for a little bit and received his misdemeanor. Synthesize this, again, I go back to the competition between school districts, and now former Harvard father classmates has made the school district look poor in their focused planning for supplemental programs within the school district. I believe that when you have conflict of interest in this regards to former frat brothers or boys trying to create an atmosphere of competition to see who is the greater foe for fundraising for their school, is this not going to end well. So the people that were involved with Mr. Santos was the principal at Briardale Elementary, Mr. Barley, foundation president at the elementary school, and Mr. Morley was the foundation president at another school. Place that took this event took place is the Briardale community. The program was a foundation set up for each school in the Briardale community to raise money for the supplemental courses, competition between schools, and there was no clear outline for how fundraising should be conducted. Review the information, section 5. My question was, does the superintendent or the CFO know what each school is doing for their fundraising? Who designed the format for the foundations for each school? Why not have it for just the elementary, all the elementaries, all the middle schools, and all the high schools? I believe that competition is good in many ways, but between schools and former rival colleges or classmates is a recipe for disaster. And then the last thing, the distribution of funds once received by Mr. Santos, just let the teacher leader decide who's in charge of the school and the site curriculum committee. Not a bad idea for that, but I wish it was maybe a little different. So let's go into that section here. So identify your options. Well, my options would have been to avoid legal issues. the principal should have gotten an approval from the CFO or superintendent. Many schools are involved in local fundraising for supplemental programs, and I thought there was too many schools involved. Why not just have one area, elementary, middle school, and high school? It seems as though Briardale is a good school district with caring families, so why not have a levy to pass for funds to be generated for all supplementals? Why do it seems just an immature, I want maybe not use immature, but a concept of fundraising instead of doing it more through the political system of a levy. Evaluate your options. Well, I think, again, I go back to, does the superintendent or CFO know? So what is the process for approving each fundraiser per school? It didn't seem like there was any in this case. And who designed the format? Too many schools involved, too many variables, which would equal poor outcome, which in this case it was. And then competition between, even not between the two guys, but between the schools. It just doesn't seem like a good recipe. The best option I chose is to have a system set in place where each fundraiser has to be approved by the principal, CFO, or superintendent. This was actually implemented in our school district about 5 years ago, and the result is it's simple. Everyone is on the same page. Information is provided for all parties. No surprises to any member of the community, and there should be reviewed by multiple leaders before it's approved. So imagine implementing this in my decision, which was doing this system of having a checks system all the way up, is to implement a system that at Briardale schools I would have also, besides the CFO and the superintendent signing off. But I think there should be 3 different fundraising ideas in place each year. The need to know the exact funds needed per year to help the supplemental programs if that was the route they were taking. And then there should be a team, principal, foundation president, curriculum chair, and any other member to review what the needs were for that supplemental program. And then after that, they would then submit the plan to the superintendent or CFO for approval. Continue, though, to see the fundraiser through. They should actually review the results after they went through with the fundraiser. Was the financial goal achieved? Did the fundraiser go smooth? Any changes need to take place for next year? And did it have an affect the community in a negative way? And were more people involved this year than last year for the fundraiser? So do a little data analysis. Never hurts taking a half an hour to reflect, maybe an hour on a meeting post fundraising, and to see if it went well, what changes could be made for the following school year. To conclude, I just believe that this case study was very positive to myself and to my experience through my school district, and learning from this one as well as, the more people you have involved, leaders involved, in a better system, I just believe that it would make for a better solution for the school district in general. Thank you again for this class, this opportunity to grow in finances, and I want to appreciate everyone for helping me through this class as well. Thank you, and I hope this was a great class for you as you become a principal as well. Thank you.